I greet my views with another liberal message from such a progressive politos like Merman Akhnezhd. Actually, I want to give a few comments on, first of all, I start with events worldwide, and I want to discuss, first of all, Iranian provocation in the Hormuz Channel. You see, Iranian government of Razvan Islamist President Mohammad Ahmadinejad is actually trying to, make a number of provocations, to provoke war between United States of America and Iranian Republic. Actually, I always believe that actually this kind of provocation are doomed to fail. Because America probably will unlikely to attack Iranian vessels, just because Iranian Navy commanders decided to engage in low-down provocations and kind of undermine peace efforts and trying to challenge Americans to a sea battle. Well, actually, because lately Iranian commanders had were reported to flash, the messages, such messages, so that Americans wouldn't be able to return back to Hormuz Channel because they claimed they had closed down the Hormuz Channel and to American ships, Western ships, in return for American sanctions against Iran. And I believe that actually Iranian military is actually unable to block the Hormuz Channel. If it does that, U.S. vessels definitely will be able to use military action against them, because Iran doesn't have any right to block the international waters, because it actually means war. And I believe that President Obama is aggressive enough in order to enforce international law and allow ships, to pass in international waters over Hormuz Channel, even without Iranian approval. Because actually, if Iranian government decided to engage in military actions and annex the international waters of Hormuz Channel, they will regret it. They only entitled to 12 miles of, offshore waters of their shores, and that's it. The rest of it, what is beyond the 12-mile zone, is actually considered to be international waters, that's open for any ship without any approval of government of the adjacent country towards waters. And actually, I believe it's a miserable provocation on part of Iranian President Mohammad Ahmadinejad. It should stop. I believe Iranians should stop those provocations. They didn't reach any conclusion. They didn't fail to provoke a war, fortunately. And I believe this scandal being fueled by Western press, MSNBC or CNN. Well, actually, that shows an attempt where Iranian government is failed to produce a meaningful result for its own people, and just looking for a pretext to start a war against the United States. And now proof of that is that Iranian spies, so-called Iranian Revolutionary Guards, something like that, they prepared a plot, to kill Saudi Arabian ambassador in the United States, which is just a provocation on part of Iranian President Mohammad Ahmadinejad, whose actually anti-Semitic stance, and calls to destroy the state of Israel, tantamount to anti-Semitism of Adolf Hitler, during in the 30s. And if actually President Ahmadinejad wants to be responsible for war against the Western world, he actually will get only massive bombardments, of his own capital, of his own, and the destruction and death of his own of Iranian military members, and all he gets in return for that human-hating anti-Semitic rhetoric, because he is just leading his way to war. As any country who would try to oppose or try to provoke destruction of the state of Israel becomes automatic enemy of Western nations, and with NATO nations will likely to crush any such Islamic or Arab power by force. It's been proven by U.S. war against Iraq, and been proven by U.S. war against Libya, where American and French military commanders managed to destroy the targets using remote control satellite guidance. We destroyed targets on the ground using satellite laser guided and satellite guided missiles, and will actually show the superiority of Western military force over the outdated Arab and Islamic countries' military. And they cannot actually measure its firepower and and political and military might of Western powers. And if they choose to seek the fate of Hitler Germany, they will just suffer the same consequences, similar consequences Hitler Germany suffered. It's being crushed by Western powers, by Western allies, and Russia, and actually 40,000 German war criminals, including members of Gestapo, SS, and other members of party apparatus were actually were hanged, ordered, were sentenced to die at the hands of executioners. They were promptly hanged in the fortress of Landsberg in 1945. And I believe that if Mr. Ahmadinejad, the Iranian president, decides to make provocation against Western nation by trying to close down the Hormuz Channel and try to challenge United States Navy, he actually will regret it very dearly. Next time Iranian vessels try to shut down the Hormuz Channel, we will receive lots of messages and warnings of those U.S. Navy vessels, and then we will definitely be hit directly. If we don't start to yield the way, U.S. vessels will likely to open fire and drown those ships, Iranian ships, hitting below the waterline, definitely. And so that the first place. And I believe that Israel remains American ally. America should support and increase humanitarian and economic aid to Israel, because America owe Israel aid over Holocaust, over 6 million Jews being killed in Germany in 40s during World War II, and because America was partly responsible for this Holocaust in Germany, we should pay the same price Germany paid, about 50 years of reparations to the state of Israel is likely to occur, because it has been sentenced by the German nation, been sentenced by the verdict of Nuremberg War Tribunal, International War Tribunal in Nuremberg. And actually, so Germany better pay the reparation dues to Israel, unless we want those dues be collected by force by the United States military. And actually, I believe that actually those anti-Semitic forces in those Islamic countries, we better listen to the voice of reason, and we're trying to make enemies against in the ranks of Western nations, because Western nations and Christian nations will crush neo-fascist anti-Semitic elements, Hezbollah or our parties like which Iranians actually push forward as a terrorist force. They attack Israel with handheld Qassam missiles and other missiles, guided missiles. And I believe that Israel should actually destroy any kind of artillery pieces like those missiles and the actually military details, because we're entitled to defend the country in aggression against peaceful population of Israel, or anti-Semitic views of both Hezbollah and Hamas and other members of those Lebanese and Iranian supported puppets. We actually try to take away, working class movement away from international, from consolidation of working class people, and bring about a war, and because they are sold out to imperialist interests of imperialist classes and of Iran and Lebanon, and should stop efforts to conduct war against Israel, because we were only casualties in that war and nothing else. and will never achieve any political goal either. Because the United States are not, and any Western nation are not going to give up on their ideals, and not going to give up on their goals, and they will enforce every single one of them by force if necessary. If the opponents understand only military force or police force, if they understand, and United States definitely would seek ways to prosecute all those dangerous terrorists, and investigate, prosecute, and use International War Crimes Tribunal and Interpol, to capture and investigate, capture, and apprehend all the dangerous terrorists, and none of them will get away. And also, this kind of movement comes from narco mafia, of course, supported by Colombian, Venezuelan mobsters, Mexican mobsters, who are neo-Nazis. And I believe that federal government should increase its spending to war against narco mafia, and should actually investigate and prosecute all those members of foreign narcotic syndicates, like in Mindan in Colombia, where most members of Colombian cartel, narcotic cartel, Cali and Medellin, were actually extradited to the United States. And I believe that narco mafia actually poses a real and threat to the security of United States and the security of United Nations. And actually, federal government of the United States should do every possible impossible effort, to fight narco mafia, to obtain intelligence against any individual or groups who are seeking to distribute narcotics in the United States. And I believe that federal government should actually spend a considerable amount of money to fight narco mobsters using spies and military efforts and Coastal Guard to deflect any attempt of narco mobsters to contraband smuggle narcotics in the United States, which we definitely do. And recently, even a large load of marijuana has been found in Southern California docks, and according to Channel 5, and I believe that some Republican Ron Paul is another example that Republicans are prostitutes of imperialists, prostitutes of narco mafia, and Republican Ron Paul actually sought to legalize marijuana, sought to legalize narcotics, and prostitution, and he's a disgrace to Republicans, he's a disgrace to American politics. For instance, on the contrary, we progressive Democrats, we increase penalties for prostitution, increase penalties for narcotic trafficking and narcotic distribution of narcotics in the United States, and we actually, Democrats are the only reliable force that can save America from criminals, from those narco mobsters. And Republicans next time show them as in the example of U.S. House Representative Ron Paul that we actually sold out to narco mafia, they sold out to prostitutes, they sold out to imperialist forces. We oppose unions, we oppose public good of United States, public good, American welfare. We're enemies of American welfare. We actually don't want to increase social spending. We're social conservative. We oppose any attempt to working class people to live better. We oppose any progressive move. We oppose any scientific development and research. Republicans even oppose any my attempt, to create those new government programs, to rebuild California infrastructure, to build a new satellite surveillance and satellite communications, cell phone communications lines. And actually, Republicans next time we showed that they oppose any progress, political and economical and technological progress in the United States. And that Rick Santorum, most neo-fascist Republican, once stated recently that he didn't want any government programs to exist to rebuild infrastructure. So oppose government creating new jobs, Republican. Well, here in California, we suffer with 11.2% of unemployment rate, which has been shown by United States Department of Labor for January 2002, and there is no reduction or relent in the rate of unemployment. In California or Nevada, where unemployment is high, 12%. It doesn't go down. Well, it's simply maybe mortality rate goes up in the United States, and that's why unemployment rate being considered a little bit less. But nevertheless, unemployment in California is overwhelming, and the government doesn't do nothing to create new jobs. Maybe MSNBC hosts like Al Sharpton will actually resort all kinds of fanciful rhetorics, to persuade people that the corporation create jobs. They do not. They do not create jobs, and private capital only rob America with resources, or with human resources, or with material resources, and export them abroad. Like, for instance, some Americans, invest in Swiss banks, USB bank, and hide their money from taxation in USB banks. But they do a big mistake by doing it, because for Swiss government will definitely impose a heavy tax against also all U.S. investment in a Swiss bank like USB Bank, Crédit Lyonnais, or excuse me, Crédit Suisse, or French banks at that extent. And I believe that people everywhere, they want to have a fair share of those riches. Those people trying to hide from them. And so in a country where we go, in small islands, they will definitely increase the taxation as soon as we find out that those people hide the illegal money and do money laundering in their countries, because they won't approve of vice, they won't approve of prostitution, they won't approve of narcotic substance abuse. And I fully endorse Democratic Party, fully endorse Democratic candidate President Obama to win those elections. Hopefully President Obama will continue to win those elections. We'll try to scare away those elections to ruin his chance to get elected the second time. And I also believe that President Obama is doing big mistake if he's trying to cut taxes for corporations or companies that invest in the United States, because this actually makes workers hostage of those corporate policies. Anyway, if workers work a limited period of time, they satiate the market and will again be a crash of all production. And where jobs, manufacturing jobs are always time limited, and they just if you make workers believe that those jobs are for good, no, but none of them will be for good. Just a limited 1 year or 2 years, and after that we'll have to rest of our employment period of time, to restore their strength. Otherwise, business in manufacturing is impossible. So that I still believe that unemployment is still very high in the United States, and government should create a special government program, to rebuild, let's say, state infrastructure, create new roads, fix the roads, build new roads, build call boxes, build new satellites, new rockets, to launch those satellites, and to have commercial satellite surveillance and communication satellites, to build new cell phone services in rural and remote areas where cell phone service from private providers doesn't exist simply. And therefore, I believe that private sector is too weak, to do anything on its own. And government should increase spending, increase bailout as well programs, create new bailout programs, like been created by the presidency of ex-Republican President George Bush Jr., who actually a certain period of time he actually created bailout programs for large banks and for our large corporate entities, and actually we managed to bail them out and keep the jobs intact. And same was repeated and actually conglomerated was by President Obama, who actually increased was spending for bailouts. And nowadays he said no bailouts, no cap-outs. It's actually a very mean-spirited request on part of President Obama. And as a liberal observer, I used to make my own conclusions. And if President Obama wants to contribute to actually economic growth of the United States, to contribute to human rights, he should actually avoid making mean-spirited statements. As he's actually nowadays, I watch National Polls. At nationalpolls.com, you can go there too and verify that information. And for instance, NBC Wall Street Journal poll dated January 24th for year 2012 said that President Obama rates 47% in comparison with average Republican rating at 42%. Well, Rasmussen reports, probably made most in the United States, gives President Obama ratings. President Barack Obama gives him rating of 42%. And his generic opponent, Republican opponent, gets about 47%. So that's so President Obama is not popular in the United States. He's likely to win maybe about 52 or 56%, not more than that, because the rest 47% will vote for Republican most likely. Pew Research Center in its poll for January 8, 2012 assigns 41% of popularity ratings to President Barack Obama and 41% to average Republican candidate. Still, I believe that President Obama even does even better being compared with front runner Mitt Romney, Republican candidate Mitt Romney, who's likely to become a Republican nominee for presidency, as he actually keeps, winning and collected 70% of the delegates' votes. His opponents have only less than 30%. And actually, Mitt Romney, he's a social conservative and staunchly opposes union power, and likely to crush unions, just as late President Ronald Reagan did, if he wins those elections. So actually, unions should increase spending in order to win those elections. So our candidate, President Barack Obama, will win the second elections. He will actually, our man in Washington, D.C., and he gonna conduct policies that will favorable towards unions, towards working class people, and towards environmental protection. The Republicans threatened to dismantle environmental protection, was threatened to open national reserve to oil drilling and pollution. They were so corrupt, they were receiving illegal campaign contribution, and they believe the federal government should enforce campaign contribution finance laws, no matter if you're Republican or Democrat alike, and because so those people won't be allowed to engage in corrupt political measures, like we're trying to do. And actually, call upon the federal government, to increase those protective measures in order to investigate measures to stop illegal campaign contributions to politicians, in order to beat corruption. And I believe that federal laws of $2,400 limit of contribution of physical person to political candidate actually it's a very reliable, enforceable amount of money. If state government thinks that they can actually override federal government's requirements for limits for campaign finance laws, their own. Federal government definitely will enforce, will prosecute, indict and prosecute any person who is trying to violate finance campaign laws, and actually has enough force, political and financial, in order to bring this point, drive its point home. So I hope that President Obama will win those elections, and Democrats will be able to consolidate its political force, because Democrats need to be progressive in order to win. If Democrats go reaction, we will lose those elections. Again, this is democracy. A Republican has about half of a vote, and Democrats have another half of a vote. And in order for Democrats to prevail, they need to master independent and swing vote. And I believe President Obama does great, because he actually got a 50% approval rate according to nationalpolls.com. You can watch it there, www.nationalpolls.com. And actually 50% of approval, but about 48% disapprove of him and 2% undecided. So you fight for those 2% approval, so to get majority in November votes. And in Los Angeles, event of Los Angeles, only 10% of voters voted for political candidates. 90% were actually refrained from voting at all. So it shows the extreme voter apathy. And we should awaken this voter apathy by organizing more political events, meetings, meet those people, in those city town halls, and make sure that voters remain active and not passive, and trying to reinvigorate press, to bring about political candidates as often as possible, in order to make sure that politicians actually are supposed to be winners, not losers, and they're supposed to be public friends of people, not public enemies. Okay, therefore, you can give me all those feedbacks and comments, which I definitely will be glad to investigate all those issues you want to discuss with me. Call my cell number 323-445-1600, or send an email to my email address, internet address, freeliberal@earthlink.net. Yeah, and I appreciate your actually civilized discussion. We would actually, because I want to discuss issues, in-depth issues, in order to we could enrich our existence, with civilized and politically correct discussion, hopefully.